Everyone has their fair share of personality traits that hold them back. In this video, I'm going to break down the one bad trait of each zodiac sign and show you how to overcome it. There are many different personality traits out there, but these are some of the most common ones that people need help with. So let me teach you how to get over your one bad trait without too much fuss. Make sure you stay until the end, because you may be surprised. Virgo. Virgos are hard to work with. A Virgo is a perfectionist. They won't be able to work on anything that they don't think is perfect or close enough to perfect. This can lead them to be hard to work with because often their idea of what isn't good enough is what you would call great. However, it also means they are always striving for the best and will probably come up with some really useful ideas along the way, so long as people can put up with them. While this trait may not make Virgos easygoing employees, it does make them excellent at figuring out what needs fixing and how to fix it, which in turn makes them valuable members of any team. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is often very careless. They may not mean to be, but they can often be so busy looking ahead to the future and planning the next move that they forget to pay attention to what's happening right in front of them. This can lead to a lot of careless mistakes that they will then have to go back and fix. It can also make them unreliable because they often don't follow through with their plans. This is especially frustrating for people who work with or rely on Sagittarius because they never know when the archer is going to come through for them. However, this trait does have its positives. Since Sagittarius is always looking ahead, they are usually the one to see new opportunities. Gemini. Geminis are very indecisive. They can see two sides to everything and will often have a hard time choosing which side they agree with the most. This can lead to indecision, which is quite annoying for people trying to get things done because Geminis often won't take any sort of action until they know for sure that the choice they make is the right one. However, this same indecision can actually help them to come up with brilliant plans and ideas, as well as encourage them to try out many different things to see what works best. They are also very good at seeing both sides to any argument, which means they can sometimes help others argue their case better. Libra. Libra is often too critical of others. They may mean to be helpful, but Libras can often end up being something of a downer because their first instinct when they see someone doing anything wrong is to point it out. They want everything around them to be fair and balanced, which means they will always tend to focus on the negative, even if there are plenty of good things going on as well. This also makes them very argumentative because they are always trying to make sure that everyone who is around them understands what they believe in and why their way is the only right way. Since Libras are usually quite stubborn about this, arguments can quickly get heated. However, Libra has many positive traits that far outweigh the bad ones. Since they are always trying to make sure that everything is balanced, they are usually very good at figuring out the best ways to distribute resources and giving people what they need. Leo. Leos are very impatient. Since Leos are ruled by the sun, they tend to be very warm and it takes a lot of time for other people to get used to their way of thinking. This can lead them to constantly move forward without letting people catch up with them, which can come off as being impatient. They often don't think that there is any reason why everyone should not know what they do or be able to do things just as easily as they can, which means that if someone is having trouble doing something, Leo may just act like this person should already know how. Since others couldn't possibly have figured out everything about life before coming to the same conclusions as Leo, this leaves no room for error in their book. However, Leos are usually quite charming and they can be very dedicated to their plans and goals. When someone has a dream that's important to them, Leo would do anything that they could to help them achieve it. Taurus. Taurus is very stubborn. They are completely unwilling to back down once they have their mind made up about something, which means that there's little chance to change it. Taurus can't stand when other people try to tell them how things are going to be, because they feel like then there would be no point in having the right to make their own decisions if someone else is going to interfere with that. This can be very frustrating for people who are used to getting their way, and it will often lead them down a bad path if they refuse to compromise with other people. However, Taurus is almost always completely devoted to the people they care about, which means that once you've made it through all of this stubbornness, you'll have a friend who will always be there for you no matter how long it takes. Aries. Aries is extremely self-centered. Since they are ruled by the planet Mars, Aries has no concern for anyone else's safety or well-being, which can definitely be seen through their actions. They want only what benefits them and don't put much thought into anything beyond that. Since they often lack empathy, Aries can seem very inconsiderate towards others. They will always focus on what they want and don't think about what might be best for anyone else. This quality is a large part of why Aries struggles to keep friends for very long, because their lack of consideration can often cause problems that may not have been present if Aries had just tried to understand the other person's perspective. Cancer. Cancers tend to be quite moody. Cancer is a water sign, which means that their mood swings can come from a variety of different places. One factor that determines how they feel is the weather. A rainy or humid day can make someone more irritable, for example. Being placed in an uncomfortable social situation also makes some people act out of character and become more aggressive, among other things like mental illnesses, which are no one's fault but their own. Their moodiness causes a lot of problems in their relationships with other people, since they can lash out or withdraw at a moment's notice, which leaves the people around them confused and afraid to interact with them. Capricorn. Capricorns are very impatient. Since the ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn, it makes sense that they would suffer from this trait, since Saturn is all about strictness and order. They know what they want and don't waste any time getting to their desired goal, which often leaves the people around them feeling like they didn't get enough time to do things the way they would have liked. Since their interest in moving forward is so great, Capricorn can be seen as very cold or unfriendly because they don't want to get attached to people who might hold them back, which would just cause problems for everyone involved. Pisces. Pisces can be very daydreamy. Being a water sign, the Pisces personality type tends to be more open and sensitive than other signs, which sounds great on paper, but can cause problems when it comes to their focus. They have a hard time committing themselves to one task because they get distracted by anything else going on around them. This makes them appear lazy or apathetic, but really, they're just caught up in their own little world where the only things that exist are them and whatever they're doing at the moment. Scorpio. Scorpios tend to be very jealous. With Scorpio being the 8th sign of the Zodiac, they are ruled by Mars, which is known as the planet of war and aggression. This causes Scorpios to be very full-on when dealing with other people. They don't like hiding their feelings about anything. They will tell you if they're angry, sad, or just straight up annoyed with you. This allows them to get a lot of things done because they don't hold anything back, but it also gets in the way a lot because they care so much about being heard and understood by other people. When someone disagrees with them, even if it's a little thing, they often take it as a huge offense. Aquarius. Aquarians are very aloof. Water signs tend to get along with air signs, which makes sense because both types of elements are very abstract and concerned with the bigger picture. For this reason, they can come off as a little bit cold or disinterested when it comes to other people's problems because they're thinking about something else entirely. While this might seem like a better personality trait than being too absorbed in another person's drama, caring about that isn't a bad thing. It just means that their interests are the same as other people, which should be respected. There you have it, one bad trait of each zodiac sign. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and comment below, I subbed, and we will reply personally with thanks. Check out this video, Zodiac Signs Ranked by Love, and I'll see you in the next video.